All right, so I'm going to be breaking down the confirmation entry model and how to go about using it. Now, the confirmation entry model is a little bit more tricky because you have to be patient when it comes to this entry model. It's not going to appear every single time, and you could actually miss out on good setups waiting for a confirmation entry. But when you get it, it is very, very good and is very, very rewarding, and you're not risking a lot. So that's the good thing. It's small risk with good reward, but also it's you have to be patient. You have to be patient, and you have to give up some trades, making crazy returns because you're being patient and waiting for a setup that or waiting for an entry model that doesn't even appear. So let's break it down. So let's start from the beginning. All right, we got to start from the jump. Okay, so MS zones and entry. This is exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to entering. And before even looking at entry model, I'm looking for market structure, zones, and then entry model is my last thing that I'm looking for on my checklist. Okay, it's the last thing I'm checking off. So before I even get into the entry model, the confirmation entry model, we have to understand one thing: structure has to be on my side, has to be trending in the direction that I want it to, or I have to understand what direction the market is trending in if I want to enter um any trade. If I don't understand what direction structure is going in, then it's already fucked. I'm fucked. Okay, so that's number one. So right here, obviously we can tell, and this is another example that I was going through in another video, but right here we can tell obviously the market is bearish and the market is downtrending just from what you see right here. So if we look at this on the 15, then I know that the market is downtrending. So now once we understand what direction the market is going in, now next thing that I look for is going to be zones. So supply zone if the market is bearish, demand zone if the market is bullish. Okay, now I'm not going to break down what a supply and a demand zone is. That's very, very beginner type shit. Like if you don't know that, then you just watch a video on it. It's very simple. Candlestick before impulse move to the upside or downside. So supply zone is what I'm looking for since the market is bearish. So I look at supply zones and I usually pick supply zones or demand zones on a 15-minute and on a 5-minute, not a 1 hour, because well, first of all, because 1 hour demand zones and supply zones are usually very, very huge. So I'm not trying to risk the whole thing. Another thing is that I like trading 15-minute and 5-minute. That's usually the time frames I'm looking at. So it'd be stupid to look for a 1 hour. Okay. So right here, obviously, we don't see any supply zones on the 5-minute or on the 15-minute, except this one right here. So if we look at this right here, but this one obviously broke, and I had it marked down, but we broke. And if we go on the 5-minute, we still have this zone right here, which is still valid. So as you can see right here, and the supply zones that I really, really like and demand zones that I really, really like and the ones that are valid for me are going to be ones that cause a break of structure. So as you can see, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, and then this is a low. So this high created this low, which caused that break of structure. So this is going to be valid, right? Well, honestly, this is the low, this is the high, and then this right here, this candle right here before the impulse moved down broke that low. So this right here is going to be a valid supply zone because of that. And obviously you can tell market opened at 9:30 and it broke right past that zone. So this right here is already invalid. So what I can do at this point is delete this, and then now I'm looking for another zone that this could potentially tap into. So if I just let the market rock out and do its thing, I'm just letting it play out, letting it play out, letting it play out. Right here, we just let it play out, let it play out, let it play out. It comes up and makes a new low, creates a low. And then we have a supply zone, which is going to be right over here, which is valid. It's a little big, but it is valid. So we have that right there. And now we just let the market rock out, let it do its thing. This right here, candlestick before an impulse move down, causing that break of structure. This right here is valid. Now, as you can obviously tell, this right here created itself around 10:15. So mind you, the market opens at 9:30. This happened at 10:15. So that is about 1 hour of waiting for structure to play out. And that's the tricky part about trading, is that you have to be patient. You have to be patient. Okay, so now once we have a valid zone and then we tap into here, this is where the confirmation entry gets used. This is where a confirmation entry will be in action. Okay, so what I like to do when it comes to confirmation entry is look for something like this. I like to look for a tap in into that zone, and then it basically supply zone creating itself on the lower time frame, and then a tap back into that lower time frame supply zone, and then a rejection and something like this. And as you can see, we have that right there. Oh shit, wrong one. My bad. Okay, right here. So something like this is something that I like. This right here is what I like. This is a confirmation entry. Okay, so this is what I look for when we tap into here, but I look for this on a lower time frame, so on a 1 minute. So as you can see, let's delete this, let's delete all this, and then let's go into here, and then let's look for that. So what I would do is I would go on to a 1 minute time frame and look for that. So I look for a confirmation entry, candlestick that caused an impulse move to the downside or a break of structure. So this one right here didn't obviously cause no break of structure because this is the low, this is the high. This didn't cause no break of structure or change of character, I meant. So this isn't valid. I mean, it did work in this case, but remember, I'm looking for valid ones. So as you can tell, what do we have right here? Candlestick before impulse move down, causing that what? Change of character. This is the low before the high. This candlestick caused that break of structure or change of character, I meant. Now this is valid. Right here, we have this created. So now all I'm doing is entering whenever it taps into the zone. So that's all I'm doing. And as you can tell, once it taps into the zone, hold on, I'm going to explain it. But once we tap in, it gives us a good rejection. But I'm not waiting for some sort of rejection or some sort of candlestick close. All I'm doing now is entering once it taps in. And then my price target would be anywhere, wherever you desire. But let's just say something like that. And then boom, 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 boom. And then it taps in and boom. So that is right there a confirmation entry, literally explained. And the reason why confirmation entries are good, especially in situations like this, is because this zone is very huge. So it's going to be hard for you to try to enter and pick or guess the right type of the right entry. So as you can tell, we have this huge zone. So risking this whole thing is going to be very difficult to kind of like predict or to understand where it's going to give us a rejection at. If we go on to a 5 minute, yes, you can enter once the candlestick closes. But like I said, then again, you are risking way more. You're probably going to be risking half of this, which you are risking more. And a confirmation entry, what it does is you wait, you're a little bit more patient, but you wait for a setup that's like good risk and good reward. And that's basically the pros about confirmation entry. The cons is you have to wait too long for this to even play out, because a lot of the times this right here won't even tap in. So this will just come up really close but not tap in and then reject. So you basically missed out on the trade because you're trying to wait for like that A plus setup. And then the thing is as well, is you'll see something like this and then it'll do something like this, boom, and then it'll come down and then it'll just drop. So you waited all that time just for this to happen. And that's the reason I don't really like it so much. It is beneficial, but when you wait for these, only you'll run past a lot of trades that end up not giving you that confirmation entry, but giving you a candlestick close like this one right here. So as you can see, look at this. Look at the way the candlestick closed right here. So you get a lot of these. And honestly, I like taking these more. So like this right here. So this right here, boom, 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 boom. So risking something like this rather than that confirmation entry. Another thing that you can do as well, and I've done this occasionally, is once you have this, once you see a confirmation entry, a valid one, you can enter once you get like a rejection off of that. So you can enter more contracts. So let's say I buy like 5 contracts right here at this entry right here, and then I buy 5 more contracts. Once it taps into here, it gives me a rejection. So something as simple as that. I mean, you can use the confirmation entries to buy more contracts, not to enter a trade, but to buy more contracts. But that's basically the confirmation entry model or criteria for me. That's what I look for entry for taking confirmation entries. So like I said, this is basically what it is. All you're looking for first is, let's break these down. So all you're looking for first is structure. Once you understand structure, now what you're looking for is zones. If we're bearish, supply zone. So once you spot that valid supply zone, then you want to wait for it to tap in. Once it taps in, then you look for a confirmation entry, which is either a candlestick close, the one that I just showed you guys right here, or what the video is about, the confirmation entry. And that's exactly what happened right here. So that is basically the confirmation entry broken down to you right here. So if you understand it, then it's very simple. Once you start understanding it, you can back test, of course, and you can just go and do that. But the only thing that I would say, you have to be patient. You cannot just rush, try to rush and enter these trades. You have to be patient. Be patient. Let the markets do its thing, come into your zone, and then once they do come in, then you execute and you enter that trade. But other than that, that is basically it. If you enjoyed the video, you already know what to fucking do. All right. So, all right.